There's more to the shot: lighting and audio. Lighting and audio are the two biggest factors in what separates average content from great. If you look or sound terrible, or both, your message will be lost, or worse, people will just switch off. We're here to help you make sure this doesn't happen, and so the next biggest consideration to be made is lighting. If you're lucky to have a nearby window that offers soft skylight in such a way you can position yourself to get a nice 2/3 phasing across your face, space for the camera to fit behind, a balanced ratio of light on your face to the background, whose elements line up as we discussed earlier, you're rocking. This is the best case scenario, though what's likely to happen is something will look out of place, and this will dramatically affect the end result. Facing the light directly will lead to squinting. If clouds come and go, the exposure will constantly shift, or alternatively, if you try to position yourself near a ceiling light, you'll end up with those horrible down shadows underneath your eyes. For these reasons, we ask that you invest a little in some lights, such as these. Yes, they're cheap, though you get a lot for what you pay, when you consider that these high-end lights are around $1,500 each. Going back to our earlier setup, where we'd lined up everything except the lighting component, we can now finesse to our heart's content using a 3-point lighting technique. First, eliminate any interfering light, such as ugly ceiling downlights and ambient window light, from hitting our subject. Second, position a key light slightly to the side and above the subject, dialing in the desired level of intensity. Third, we position a fill light to the other side of the camera to fill in the shadows we created from our key light. Find a nice balance. We don't want to flatten out the face by matching it to the key light. We want that nice 2/3 phasing across the face. Fourth, we position our third light to bring up the background. We may find it best to revisit our sources of ambient light here, perhaps partially opening some of those window blinds or turning on selective ceiling lights that'll light the background but not create shadows on our subject's face. Play around. It's worth spending a few extra minutes here to find the optimal balance. Expect to change the key and fill lights a little, perhaps shifting the position as well as the intensity. Fifth, press and hold the screen at your subject's face to lock the camera's exposure and focus. A worthy reminder to check that your subject is in the correct position when you do this. This initial setup will take some time, so it's important both talent and smartphone operator are patient with each other to get the best end result. If you've ever worked with a video production crew, you'll now have a better appreciation of what's involved and why they move back and forth so many times, making only the smallest adjustments. So again, I stress, please be patient with each other. By locking the exposure, the camera won't automatically shift when you adjust lights, allowing you to make those further few adjustments if you feel the image is slightly too bright or slightly too dark. Minor adjustments can also be made in editing, though we want to get this as close to correct as possible now to save time later. With the focus also locked, the phone is not fighting and searching all the time, ensuring you look sharp throughout. Therefore, please don't step forward or back during your presentation. Well done, you're now through the hardest part. Now we move on to audio. We love the Rode SmartLav Plus. Purchased with the 6-meter extension cable, you have a high quality, cost-effective microphone that doesn't require a stand or anything else. It plugs straight in the phone, a cable long enough to reach you from behind the camera, and sounds great. Loop the cable and pin it to your suit lapel, tie, or button shirt. For ease in positioning, we therefore recommend you don't wear a t-shirt. Next up, we discuss performance.